Hello everyone, and welcome to sort of not Project 308. Well, a very special thank you to all of you that reached out and asked where I am, because it's been a while, hasn't it? For those of you who remember Terry, when Terry retired, I know I've already covered this before, I hired his replacement. That didn't work out so well, and that failed miserably. I won't go into that. Essentially, I've given up trying to find senior technicians. It's going to become a problem throughout the world. That means I'm doing Terry's job now, and I've got 4 great staff members right now, and but they do need a little more guidance than I would necessarily like to be able to keep going on Project 308. But Project 308 is still going. It's just slower. But how about Project 308 with a twist? That might be neat. Let's see somebody else's car for once. Well, look what we have here. We have a guest today in the shop. Now, I've heard several times that I am not a Ferrari expert, and that a Ferrari expert would do things differently, and I'm substandards and all that kind of uncomfortable stuff that makes you feel kind of like crap. Here we have a 1981 308 that's come in for some repair, and it's just been to the Ferrari expert. It's had a whole bunch of oil leaks repaired, the pans were replaced, the shifter seal was replaced last summer, and guess what? It's still leaking. Nothing is more frustrating to me than the Ferrari experts, the armchair critics, who've never really posted any of their work online for others to critique. My advice to you guys, passing advice, is that by all means, go ahead and post your own content, and no matter how good you think you are, somebody's going to tell you did it wrong. Now, as far as this car, I don't know what's wrong, but let's try and figure it out together without any kind of anger or pointing fingers. It was originally scheduled in just to do locks and little small things, but guess what? He broke down on the weekend, so we had to tow it in. Got a no-start condition. The customer seems to think that it is ignition switch. Let's diagnose this together. Alright, first clue. When I first came to the car, nothing was powering up. Then I simply clamped on my probe, and then I had power for a moment. Now I'm down again. That tells me problem's not here. I gotta go to the battery. Oh, there we go. That shouldn't be doing that. Okay. I should not be able to take those off by hand. Let's go and tighten those up. Alright, so if I am correct, which I'm not always correct, but sometimes I am. If I'm correct, this car should start up right now. Let's take a look. Alright, gonna try and fix this strap on the target top while we're at it. Somebody's put a rivet through here and figured that rivet would hold there, but obviously not. In the very least, they should have put a washer on the outside of here, and maybe that rivet would have worked. I'm going to give one of these a try. That piece plus that piece there. Alright, so that's not going to work. It's too shallow for get through. So what I've got is I've got a I've got a black rivet, and I had a washer here a second ago and I just dropped it. I gotta go get another one because it ain't here. Got a washer on the back side, should spread the load a bit, hopefully make it a bit better. Alright. These door locks don't work. Okay, well, it's going. Doesn't want to unlock. Doesn't want to come back up. No, they work, but it's really stiff going down. I think I gotta take the panel off and take a look at it. That's got a square Robinson in it. That's a lot of washers. The ultimate 10 mil half size. Let's see if that makes it any easier. I want to get the speaker up so I can see in there better, but it's been all glued. And gently see if I can cut that away. Oh, so it was a speaker holding it all along. I had forced it through. I'm going to take the key off because I don't want the rest of the ring dragging on the paint. I don't think there's actually anything specifically wrong with this system other than age. I'm just going to hit it with some lubricant on the mechanisms from the inside, see if I can't get it working a bit better. Alright, here's my door lock guard sort of thing. That's his. You can see that that's not the original. Mine is clearly not the original. This is just somebody's attempt to make a piece of tin and kind of cover it. Nice. This car has a collection of screws that are just sort of forced in there. Let's try and find something. Now, I'm pretty sure these were supposed to be a 6 mil by 1.0 once upon a time, but somebody has just jammed crap in there and ruined everything. I'm trying to make it the best I can. One more. Alright, the fellow who owns the car had me order a cigarette lighter, but it doesn't appear to be the correct one. At the same time, I have a parking brake light that is not extinguishing when the parking brake is down. I need to get to the switch in the back of the console. See if it's an adjustment issue or something seized, but I'm looking at the shifter rate, or not the shifter, but the emergency brake lever, and it does appear to be bent a bit, but I don't know if he's done that on purpose, but we'll leave it the way it is right now. But yeah, something's wrong. Feels kind of wrong. Parking brake cable, jam nuts are not locked. Alright, so it took me a while to figure it out, but the emergency brake problem with the light being on was actually because the emergency brake lever was bent so much to the left that the little platform that the switch was sitting on was falling off. So the switch would come down, as the lever came down, it would sit on the switch and then it would fall off, and that was what was keeping the light on. I thought it had an electrical problem at first, and then after taking it back apart a few times, I finally figured it out. But I'm not sure why that was, because all the cables were recently changed, and why whoever changed the cables bent that lever so much, I'll have no idea. Weird. Weird. Alright, so I definitely know the shifter seal is leaking. And I also believe the oil leak over here on this side of the motor, I believe that is the sandwich plate that's leaking. The sandwich plate is only leaking a very small amount. The shifter seal seems to be leaking a generous amount, so we're going to start with the shifter seal because I could do that in the car. Just measuring the amount of oil that was in it, that's all. Definitely not a fan of messes, so I'm going to spend a few minutes cleaning up. Here's the shifter rod that comes from the front of the vehicle. It goes into a little, fork right there. And then it comes through the engine oil pan, and then it attaches over here, right over here. So the goal is to take that bolt out right there, disconnect the shifter over here, and then slide this whole shaft out to the front. All right, so we've got two seals. We've got one on the front of the transmission where it goes to the shaft there, and then we've got one separating the crankcase from the, crankcase is here, crankcase from the transmission housing. We're going to change them both, even though they've already been changed. One, I've sent an email to my contact at T. Rutland's for him to double check to make sure that the ones he sent me are the correct ones. I don't want to put the wrong ones in. All right, finally got the correct seals, so let's put them back in. Come on, get in the hole. The oil pan into the transmission.
That's wild.
Winkle. I like to put a little bit of sealant on there.
Like the other day I told this guy I was gonna retire. The guy said, "Oh, you're gonna retire." I says, "Fuck, man, I'm 74 years old now. So
Yeah.
what the fuck? What do you want? Can't work until I'm 100."
You know, you're 74. You look great for 74, buddy.
Thank you.
And now for the balancing act.
Oh, everything's here? Cool. I'll just try to make it.
Before I tighten the bottom up, I'm going to go up top and make sure I put my bolt in at the top of the dipstick tube. So there's a local fellow I know who's really knowledgeable, and he has a YouTube channel, and he's got a very detailed procedure on how to change the gearbox oil. I'll link to it right now if you really want a detailed explanation. Well, we should probably take this for a test drive, right? You know, make sure everything's good. Cold car, cold transmission. Give it some time. This car drives very, very nice. Very good shape. I'd love to give this car a nice, good thrashing, but that would be disrespectful of me. So let's get taken for a nice leisure spin. These cars are not fast by any means, but they are a pleasure to drive. Once you get used to the seating position, and that, I think, is the biggest thing about any of these cars, is that the seating position is a little bit off to the side. And I don't think they're really made for guys who are taller. Well, thank you for watching kind of Project 308, and look who just showed up. This guy like never leaves here. You got nothing better to do, Terry?
Yeah, I do.
Look at you, very casual. Look at that, Mr. Retired now. Huh. Must be nice to be able to saunter around and do whatever you want, when you want. This retired thing kind of has something to it, doesn't it? Anyways, Project 308 is right there covered. I'm hoping for a couple weeks for another video, but that's assuming I manage to get done what I need to get done in day-to-day life. Anyways, thanks. Bye.